Good evening, everyone. We're going to begin kneeling on our mat, so shins on the floor, bums on the heels. Tilt the pelvis forwards, lengthening through the spine, reaching through the crown of your head, pulling your shoulder blades back and behind you, and just taking a moment to find total stillness. Take a moment to slow your day down, coming into this present moment. No thoughts need thinking about. There is nowhere else to be. So be here now. Bringing your focus, your awareness into your breathing. Becoming aware of how every breath is moving through your body. Not yet changing anything. Just tuning in with yourself as you are. Becoming aware of how you're feeling without thinking about it, without wishing it was otherwise. Settling in that mental state, that place of observation. Being witness to your whole experience. Every feeling, every sensation. Just noticing as you check in inside your body. So be in your breathing. Center your awareness in your heart. Take a moment, take the next hour of practice to just move out of your mind, out of your brain. Get out of your head, into your heart. And starting to breathe deeper. Deeper, longer inhales, breathing in through the nose. Fill the lungs to their maximum lung capacity. And when you exhale, back out through the nose, or if you like, back out through the mouth. Completely emptying your breath out of your body. When the lungs are empty, again, breathing in. And now with your breathing, moving your spine with every breath. So as you breathe in, tilt the pelvis forwards, pulling the chest through the arms, pushing the spine forwards, opening the chest, breathing in deeper. As you exhale, tucking the chin to the chest, rolling the spine backwards, squeezing the belly button into the spine, squeezing yourself as small as you can. Inhaling, coming forwards, opening up, making yourself big. Exhaling, shrinking, curling backwards, pushing the spine to the wall behind. Deep breathing, moving the whole of your spine with every breath. The deeper the breath, the slower the movement. The slower you move, the more time to feel into your spines. Waking the body up. Nice fluid wave-like motion through the whole of your spine. Every inhale, making yourselves bigger. Every exhale, squeezing more breath out of your body. Keep it going. So as you're coming forwards, inhaling, you're squeezing your shoulder blades in and behind you. And then when you're exhaling, you're rolling the spine backwards and opening the space between your shoulder blades, pushing your shoulder blades forwards. Inhaling, opening up. Exhaling, rolling backwards. continue in this way, but in a moment when I say we will pause, take a deep breath in, and then completely exhale. When we have totally exhaled, emptied our lungs, we will hold the breath, hold the exhale. And whilst we hold the exhale, we will engage our Uddiyana Bandha, squeezing the belly button into the spine, locking the core abdominals in, pushing your diaphragm and the lungs into a smaller, tighter space. So, coming to stillness, deep breath in, total exhale, squeeze the belly in, trap the breath out of the body. And when you can no longer hold the exhale, breathing in through the nose, settling back into deep belly breathing. But we'll do that one more time. This time, when we hold the exhale, we will pull the Uddiyana Bandha in, the belly button, the abdominals, but also Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor. So as we exhale, squeezing, pulling in, locking in, holding for the whole duration of the exhale, and then when it's time to breathe in, releasing, breathing in through the nose, and we will begin our practice. So one more time, deep belly breath in, total exhale, Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandha. And so once again, when you can no longer hold the exhale, releasing the bandhas, breathing in through the nose, settling back into deep belly breathing, your yogic breath. When you're back in your breathing, continue breathing in this way as you open your eyes, ready to begin your practice. So big toes together, take your knees to be matched width apart. Using the strength of your arms, pull your spine forwards. So again, opening the chest, drawing the shoulder blades in behind you, tilting the pelvis as far forward as you can. As we exhale, rotating from the hips, coming to hover above your mats, foreheads inches from the floor, shoulder blades squeezing in behind you, lengthening through the spine, lengthening through the crown of your head. If you like, you can use your hands on your knees. Otherwise, bringing the hands together behind the back, clasping the fingers, pushing the hands away, locking the elbows in, pushing the hands behind you as the counterbalance as you try to find more length through the whole of your body, keeping your bum close to your heels. 2 more breaths. And then gently placing your foreheads onto your mats. Keep that. If you haven't already, bring the hands together behind the back, clasp the fingers, and push the hands away, locking the elbows in. And start working the rotation into your shoulders. So with every inhale, breathing into that tightness, the tension you can feel. And with every exhale, pushing the arms a little further. Hands up towards the ceiling, and then coming overhead. The intention is to bring them onto your mats, at the top of your mats. Using every breath, every exhale going further. And then rolling onto the crown of your head, the bum comes away from the heels, hips high up in the air, weight on the top of the head, working more rotation to the shoulders.
Try and push the floor away with your head. So you're active and engaged, pushing away through the whole of your head. As you work more rotation into your shoulders, try to bring your hands closer to your mats. Deeper breathing, stronger breaths. One more breath. And then rolling back onto your forehead as if someone's pulling on your hands, coming up with a long spine and a flat back. Folding forwards, placing the hands on your mats in front of you, tucking the toes and lifting your hips, downward facing dog. When you're here, if you like, cycling the legs, so bending the right knee, pressing down through the left heel, holding for 2 breaths, then swapping the legs, 2 breaths for each leg, just keeping it slow, waking the body up, stretching through the legs, pushing through the shoulders, fingers spread wide, pressing down through the length of all of your fingers. And then pressing down through both heels, settling in your downward facing dog. As we breathe in, lift both heels as high as you can, so your toes are being stretched open, heels high up in the air, hips higher up in the air. Bring your forehead closer to your knees, and then staying on tiptoes, walking your feet towards the top of your mats, walking your feet between your hands, eventually coming to a forward fold. So big toes together, small gap between the heels, grabbing a hold of your elbows, and then just hanging forwards out of your hips. Make sure you're pressing down through your toes, through your heels, straightening your legs as much as you can, tilting the pelvis forwards, hanging out of the hips, softening your spine, softening your neck. Allow your head to hang. Loud breathing, strong breathing, belly breaths. And then releasing your elbows nice and slowly, stacking each vertebrae one on top of the other. So pressing down through the heels, through the toes, straightening through the legs, lengthening through the spine, rolling shoulder blades back towards each other, palms facing the front, coming to Tadasana, mountain pose. A few rounds of Surya Namaskar, sun salutation, so deep belly breath in. As we exhale, bringing the hands together. Inhaling, reaching up the ceilings, deep belly breath. Exhaling, swan dive to forward fold, hands on the floor. As we inhale, stepping the right foot back, come to runner's lunge. Holding the breath, kicking back to plank. Exhaling, knees to the floor, chest between the hands, chins on the mat, bums in the air. Inhaling, sliding up to cobra, pushing hips down, lifting shoulders. As we exhale, tucking toes and lifting hips, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands as we inhale, stepping the right foot between the hands. Exhaling, left foot between the hands. Inhaling, pressing down through the heels, reaching through the fingers, long through the side bodies. Exhaling, returning to Tadasana, mountain pose. And again, breathing in. Exhaling, the hands come together. Inhaling long through the side bodies, reaching up for the ceiling. Exhaling, swan dive to forward fold, hands on the floor. Inhaling, the left foot steps back, comes to runner's lunge. Holding the breath, kicking back to plank. Exhaling, knees to the floor, chest between the hands, chins on the mat, bums in the air. Inhaling, sliding into cobra, pushing hips down, lifting shoulders. As we exhale, tucking toes and lifting hips, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands as we inhale, step the left foot between the hands. Exhaling, right foot between the hands. Inhaling, pressing down through the heels, reaching through the whole of your body. Exhaling, returning to Tadasana, mountain pose. Last round, breathing in. Exhaling, the hands come together. Inhaling, last time reaching up for the ceiling through the whole of your body. Exhaling, swan dive to forward fold, hands on the floor. Stepping or jumping back to a plank. And then half press up, chaturanga. Come down low to your mats, elbows close into the body. And then as we inhale, upward facing dog. Pressing down the tops of the feet to lift the knees, lift the hips. Pull your chest through the arms, pressing down through the palms. lengthening through the crown of your head, opening your chest, closing the space between your shoulder blades, deeper belly breaths, pressing down harder on the hands, pressing down harder on the tops of your feet, lifting your knees and your hips as high as you can. Breathing into the back bend. Two more breaths, nice and strong. And then as we exhale, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands as we inhale, stepping the right foot between the hands. Exhaling, dropping your left heel to your mats. Inhaling, warrior ones, hands reaching up to the ceiling, hips squares to the front of your mats. Exhaling, folding forwards, hands either side of the right foot, kicking the right foot back, coming back to a plank. Optional, right leg lifted, everybody press up. Up dog, right toes back on the floor, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands as we inhale, stepping the left foot between the hands. Exhaling, right heel to your mats. Inhaling, warrior ones, reaching up to the ceiling, sinking down the hips. Exhaling, folding forwards, kicking the left foot back, coming back to a plank. Optional, left leg lifted, everyone press up. Up dog, left toes back on the floor, downward facing dog. And then back in your downward facing dog, coming down onto your knees, knees under the hips, coming down onto your forearms, grab a hold of your elbows. So bring your hands together in front of you, bring the palms together and then cross the thumbs. Deep belly breath in. As we exhale, lunging forwards, chin tap on the mat above the fingers. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, forehead to the mat through the arms, bum to the heels. Inhaling up, exhaling, calming forwards. Inhaling up, exhaling backwards. So keep it going, moving with your breath. Just make sure your elbows aren't sliding away from each other. Option 2, same again, but you tuck your toes, straighten your legs, lift your hips, continue with the chin tap. Inhaling up and exhaling, the crown of the head touches the floor as you press back through your heels. Inhaling up, exhaling forwards. Continuing, moving with your breath. So 2 more chin taps wherever you are. And then bringing your knees back down to your mats, knees under the hips. Keep your elbows under the shoulders, releasing your palms, placing your palms flat on the floor, fingers spread wide. Dolphin variation of our downward facing dog. So tucking the toes, straightening the legs, lifting the hips, pushing the floor away. So strong from the shoulders, pressing down through your hands. Hips are high up in the air as you press down through your heels. Optional to bring more weight onto the shoulders, walk your feet towards your face. One more breath, and then lifting both elbows at the same time, coming straight into your downward facing dogs. In your downward facing dog, looking between the hands. As you inhale, stepping the right foot between the hands. Exhaling, left knee to the floor, top of the left foot on the mat. Inhaling, reaching up the ceiling. Exhaling, Crescent Moon Lunge. So forwards and down in the hips. Sending the hips forwards to the right heel, reaching through the arms, long through the side body and through the whole of your spine. As you draw your arms behind your head, squeezing your shoulder blades close in towards each other, more space for your lungs and the chest, deeper belly breaths. So make sure you're squaring your hips to the front of the mat, pull the right hip back, left hip forwards. Hips moving forwards, hands and shoulders reaching behind. 2 more breaths. And then inhaling, reaching up the ceiling. Exhaling, folding forwards. Hands on the mats on the inside of the right foot. Tuck the left toes and straighten the left leg, pushing back through the left heel. Planting down through the left hand, bring the right hand to your heart, and then twisting on your spine, looking up towards the ceiling, taking your heart, your chest towards the sky. When you've gone as far as you can, releasing the right hand, reaching up for the ceiling, looking where you're reaching for. And then strong in the legs. You're pushing back through the left heel, pressing down in the right heel, and pulling the right knee back towards you, back underneath you. Low in the hips, strong in the legs, open through the chest, reaching through the arms. Deep breaths, breathing in the twist. One more breath. And as we exhale, placing the right hand on your mats, straightening both legs. So pushing away through the right heel, pulling the right knee back towards you. Straighten both legs as much as you can without locking the knees in. And then tilt the pelvis, lengthen through your spine, walk your hands away from you. And then with a long spine as you exhale, folding forwards over the right leg, as strong as you can. So again, as strong as possible through the legs. Legs as straight as they can be. Long through the spine, folding over the right leg, squaring your hips to the front of your mat. So pull the right hip back, left hip forwards, keeping them level. One more breath. And then bring the hands back towards you. Bring the right heel back towards you, so now it's underneath your right knee. And drop your left heel to your mats as we inhale, coming up into warrior ones. So, hips are square to the front of your mat. Pull the right hip back, left hip forwards. Right knee above or before the ankle and low in the hips. Shoulders above the hips and hands reaching up for the ceiling as you're as strong through your left leg as you are on the right. Pressing to the outside of your left foot, grounding down through the outside of your left foot. Deep breath in. As we exhale, turning the hips into warrior two. So make sure the right knee doesn't pull in towards the left side of your mats. Just now opening your hips to be in line with the long edge of your mats. Shoulders are above the hips and hands reaching away. Soft, gentle gaze over the right fingers. And just check behind you, make sure your left arm is in line with the right arm. Long through the spine, shoulder blades closing the back of your rib cage, so draw them in close. And make sure your bum isn't sticking out too much, just tucking the hips through, lengthening your tailbones down to your mats. One more breath, and then as we exhale, folding forwards, hands either side of the right foot, kicking the right foot back, downward facing dog. Option to rest, option to freestyle, otherwise vinyasa, inhaling to a plank, exhaling to a press up, inhaling, upward facing dog, exhaling, downward facing dog. When you're back in your down dog, looking between the hands, as you inhale, step the left foot between the hands, exhaling, right knee to the floor, top of the right foot on the mat, inhaling up for the ceilings, exhaling, crescent moon lunge, deep in the hips, hips moving forwards. Every breath, use your maximum lung capacity. Try and get every inhale deeper than the previous one, every exhale stronger than the previous. For more space to lunge further forward, you can always walk your left foot away from you. Squaring your hips to the front of your mat, so pulling the left hip back, right hip forwards, just stabilising yourselves. If your balance is a challenge here, you can take your left foot closer to the left side of your mats, just to give you a wider base to work your balance over. One more breath. And then inhaling, reaching up to the ceiling, exhaling, folding forwards. Hands on the floor on the inside of the left leg, planting the hands, tuck the right toes, straighten the right leg. Push back through the heel, planting down through the right hand. Bring the left hand to your heart and then twist it on your spine, turning up to the ceiling. When you've gone as far as you can, releasing the left hand, reaching through the arms, looking where you're gazing for. Pulling the left knee back underneath you, pushing back through the right heel, both legs strong. Right arm is strong as you push away from the shoulder. Try and keep lengthening through the crown of your head. Breathing to the twist. As always, in your yoga, feel free to explore any other poses or variations you know as we go through the class. Never feel the need to do exactly as I'm doing. Deep breath in as we exhale, placing the left hand on your mat on the outside of the left leg, and then straightening both legs. So straightening the left leg, pushing back through the right heel, tilt from the pelvis, lengthening through your spine, walk your hands away from you, and then folding forwards over the left leg, as long through the whole of your spine as you can. Every exhale, pulling the belly button away from the thigh, into the spine. Two more breaths, nice and strong. And then bending the left knee, pull the left foot back towards you, so now the left knee is above or before the ankle. Hands on the mat close towards you as you drop your right heel to the floor. And then inhaling, coming up into a warrior one. So warrior one, hip squares at the front of the room. Pull the right hip back, left hip forwards, left knee above before the ankle, and you press into the outside of your right foot. Shoulders above the hips, pulling your shoulder blades behind you, reaching through the arms, but pulling your shoulders away from the ears, down to your backs. Breathing under control. Hold the posture nice and strong. Stay with the breathing, concentrating, focusing with every breath. Deep breath in as we exhale. Warrior twos. So again, opening your hips to the long edge of your mats, arms at shoulder height, hands reaching away. Make sure the left knee isn't pulling towards the right side of your mat, so take the left knee to the left side of your mat, opening that left hip even more. Arms nice and parallel, in line with one another. Just look behind you, make sure the right arm is in line with the left. A few more breaths here. Stay with the breathing. Holding the pose nice and strong. Warrior two, one more breath. And as we exhale, folding forwards, hands either side of the left leg, kicking the left foot back, downward facing dog. Option of rest, option of freestyle, otherwise vinyasa. Inhaling to a plank, exhaling to a press up, inhaling, upward facing dog, exhaling, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands. As we inhale, step the right foot between the hands. Keep your left knee high, pushing back through the left heel, pressing down through the right heel. As we inhale, coming up into a high lunge. So hands reaching up the ceiling. As we exhale, sinking down to the hips, bringing the hands to the heart. So just checking our alignment, making sure the right knee is above or before the ankle. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward, squaring your hips to the front of your mats. As you push back through the left heel, there's almost no bend in the left knee. The left leg is as strong as the right leg. With the shoulders above the hips, you're not leaning forwards. If you're leaning forwards, you're just creating more work for the right leg. So lengthen through the crown of your head, holding here. We're going to do a few variations in our high lunge. If at any point it becomes a little bit too much, you can always bend your left knee and place your left knee onto your mats. But to begin with, bringing the hands together behind the back, clasping the fingers, pushing the hands away from you, locking the elbows in. Shoulder blades are close as you open your chest. Deeper breaths. And then leaning forwards, trying to bring your shoulders above the right knee, pressing down through the right heel, pushing back through the left heel, holding here. Strong breathing. Releasing your hands, reaching for the back of the room. So palms are open, fingers are wide, long through the arms, long through the spine. Keep the legs strong, stay with the breath, and then bring your arms either side of you, coming into aeroplane. So arms at shoulder height, palms facing the floor, pressing down through the right heel. Again, stay with the breathing. And then bring the arms overhead. Bring your index fingers together, pointing forwards, clasping the rest of your fingers, and then find as much length, as much reach through the whole of your body as you can. Keep pressing down through the right heel, pushing back through the left heel. One more breath. And then folding forwards, hands on the floor, kicking the right foot back, downward facing dog. So take a moment if you need. Again, option for the vinyasa. Inhaling to a plank, exhaling to a press up, inhaling, upward facing dog, exhaling, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands. As we inhale, stepping the left foot between the hands. Keeping the right knee high, again setting up for that high lunge. Pressing down through the left heel, shoulders above the hips, hands reaching up to the ceiling. As we exhale, sinking into the hips, bringing the hands to the heart. Breathing under control. So to help your balance, stabilize your hips, pull the right hip back, left hip forwards, shoulders above the hips, lengthening through the crown of your head. Strong in the legs, breathing under control. Bringing the hands together behind the back, clasping the fingers, pushing the hands behind you, locking the elbows in. Open the chest, breathing deeper. And then leaning forward, shoulders over the left knee, long through the spine, shoulder blades squeezing in close. Strong in the legs. Releasing the hands, still reaching for the back of the room. Palms are open, fingers are wide. Stay with the breath. Strong in the body. Bring your arms either side of you at shoulder height, palms facing the floor. Keep breathing. And then reaching the arms overhead, index fingers together, pointing through the whole of your body, pushing back through the right heel, pressing down through the left heel. 2 more breaths. And then placing your hands onto your mats, kicking the left foot back, downward facing dog. Option to rest, option to freestyle, otherwise vinyasa. Inhaling to a plank, exhaling to a press up. Inhaling, upward facing dog, exhaling, downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, drop to your knees, bums on the heels. Breathing, back under control. So placing your hands either side of you, make sure your big toes are not touching. And then leaning back, so lifting your knees as high as you can. Knees high up in the air, stretching the tops of your feet, stretching your shins. Either keeping the hands on the floor, otherwise hands at the heart, holding the balance.
And then gently bring your knees back down onto your mats. Hands on the floor, tucking the toes, lifting your hips, downward facing dog. Hop, step or jump to Malasana, your deep yogi squats. So feet outside the hands, heels are down, knees are wide. So if you come into Malasana and your heels are hovering, take your feet a bit wider. You want to get your heels down. If you've taken your feet wider than hip width apart, and your heels are still hovering, come up until your heels are down. This will allow those muscles to lengthen, to open, to stretch, and eventually you'll drop down into Malasana. In Malasana, pressing to the outsides of the feet, so taking the knees wider, elbows on the insides of the knees, bring the palms together. As you pull the hands towards your heart, opening your chest more, shoulder blades squeezing in behind you. Bit of pressure in the heels, keep the legs active as you lengthen through the spine, lengthening through the crown of your head. One more breath. And gently placing your bums onto your mats. So when you're here, keep the feet on the floor and keep your knees bent. Place the back of your hands on the outsides of your ribs and tuck your elbows on the insides of your thighs. If you can't manage this, try taking the feet wider. If you're struggling, maybe just try one. You can work with that until you can get the other one in. Otherwise, just one at a time. Keep a bit of pressure on the hands and then walk your feet in closer to squeeze your knees together and bring your elbows towards touching. Using every breath. Every inhale, breathing into that resistance, that tension being held in your body. As you exhale, when your mind is at its most quiet, your body can relax and you can push your body a little further. Bring your elbows just a little bit closer. And releasing your arms, straightening your right leg along the floor. Bring the sole of your left foot against the right thigh. Keep pushing through the right heel, pointing your toes back towards you. Pull the meat of your bum so your sitting bones are facing backwards. Inhaling, reaching up to the ceiling out of the hips. Exhaling, keeping the spine long and folding forward. So grabbing a hold of your toes, your ankle, your shin. Grabbing a hold wherever you can. And then trying to pull yourself from the hips. So leading with your chest and your chin forwards to your toes. Have your left shoulder and your left knee pressing down. So your whole body is engaged. Everything is active. So your full body is supporting you in this pose. Observe where you can feel the work happening in your body as you breathe here. And if you can maintain the work in this area of yourself, with the next exhale you can round your spine, bringing the forehead to the knee. But again, if you fold forwards and you lose that work, that rotation in the hips at the top of your right thigh bone, then just keep working with a flat back. Strong breathing, using your abdominals, squeezing your internal organs with every exhale. And then gently releasing, calming up. Picking your left foot up, place the left foot in the crease of your right elbow, and then bring your left arm around the left leg, and then clasping the fingers, holding the hands or holding the wrists, whatever works for you. We're just going to swing the left leg around. So try to get the left hip nice and warm. So as much as you can, throwing the leg around, twisting behind you, twisting over in front of you. Start to feel your left hip. Be aware of it. Whatever sensation you're experiencing in your body, keep breathing. And then when your left hip is feeling a bit warmer, a bit more ready, place your left thumb between the big toe and the toe next to it, grabbing a hold of the top of your foot as you lengthen through the spine. The right hand can grab the left heel. You're then trying to pull your left toe back to your left ear. So make sure you're trying to lengthen through your spine to keep the spine long, rather than rounding the spine and bringing your ear to your toe. You want to bring your toe to the ear. If you've got the toe to the ear, you can bring your left arm under the left leg to keep the left foot in place, and then reach forward with the right arm to grab a hold of the right toes. But again, if you're doing this, make sure you're trying to keep the spine long so your shoulder blades are pulling behind you. Return to the breathing. Deep belly breaths. And then bringing both hands to the top of the left foot and straighten your left leg. So you're pushing through the heel to lock the left knee in. No weight on the left leg so you can lock the left knee in safely. And then start pulling the foot towards you. So you're trying to bring the shin to your forehead. Again, keep your spine long so you're not bringing the forehead to the shin, but the shin to the forehead. Trying to show the sole of your foot to the ceiling. Keep the right leg active. Keep pushing through the right heel. And again, pushing through your left heel. And then strong in the legs. Keep the left foot where it is as both hands reach up to the ceiling. Holding for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bringing the left leg down nice and slowly with control. And then taking the left leg open to the left. Bring the right foot, the sole of your right foot against the left thigh. Sitting bones facing backwards, belly button facing your left toes. Inhaling up to the ceiling, exhaling, folding forwards. So again, grab a hold wherever your body will allow you to. Pulling yourself out of the hips, so pressing the right knee down, right shoulder pressing down, lengthening through the spine, reaching to the toes. And again, if you can maintain the work with a long spine, then rounding your spine, bringing the forehead to the left knee or to the shin. Again, focusing on your breathing, the majority of your organs on the left side of your body, so squeeze them, squash them, use your abdominals, give everything a good massage. One more breath wherever you are. Pull yourself a little bit further into the posture, and then releasing, easing off, calming up. Picking the right foot up, placing the right foot in the crease of your left elbow, wrapping your right arm around the right leg, holding the hands, and swinging the right leg. So again, trying to get that right hip warm and ready, nice and prepared. And then when you can feel the muscles are a bit looser, a bit warmer, a bit more prepared. Right thumb between the big toe and toe next to it, grabbing a hold of the top of the foot, the left hand holding the right heel as you lengthen through your spine, pulling the right toe to your right ear. If you can, trying to get your right foot behind your head. Use the strength of your arms. Your leg muscles are a lot stronger than your arm muscles, so you can use the strength of your arms to really pull the toes to the ear. If the toe is to the ear, the right arm can come under the right leg, holding the foot close as you reach forwards with the left hand, grabbing hold of the left toes. The challenge is tickling your ear with your right big toe. One more breath. holding here, and then bringing both hands to holding the top of your right foot, pushing through the right heel, straightening the right leg, locking the right knee in, and then using the strength of your arms, bringing the shin to your forehead. Remember, keeping that spine long, lengthening the crown of your head up to the ceiling, showing the sole of your foot to the ceiling. A few more breaths. Strong through the legs, pushing through the heels. And then again, keep your leg there, keep the leg strong, both hands reaching up at the ceiling, holding for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Nice and slowly, bringing the leg down, keeping control, and both feet back on the floor. So both legs stretched out in front of you, pushing through both heels, pull the meat of your bums, sitting bones facing backwards, pulling your toes back towards you. Inhaling up and out the hips, exhaling, folding forwards. Once again, just grab a hold wherever your body allows you to. Pull out of the hips, so trying to bring your chin and chest to your toes. And again, either staying here, using every breath, otherwise as you exhale, rounding the spine, folding forwards, forehead coming to the legs. Be aggressive with your abdominals. Last chance to really give everything a good massage, squeezing everything inside, aiding your digestive system. And then slowly releasing, letting go, calming up. So to finish tonight's practice, we're going to do a little headstand variation. So if you're familiar with my practice, obviously join in with me. Otherwise, you may need to just pause for a moment and watch, and then give it a go yourself. So we're going to come onto our hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to bring the crown of our head onto our mats in front of our fingers, so that when we bend our elbows, it's at a 90-degree angle. So if I just demonstrate, coming forwards, crown of the head onto your mats. As you can see, arms are at a 90-degree angle, and the elbows are shoulder width apart, tucked in underneath me. So you can stay here. If you're not familiar with headstands, then weight on the crown of the head can be a new experience. Just continue breathing here. Otherwise, to bring more weight onto the head, we tuck the toes, straighten the legs, lift the hips. From here, we're looking to walk the feet closer towards the face, and eventually we're bringing our knees onto our arms. So the 90-degree angle has created a shelf with our upper arm. With the elbows, with our knees on our arms, we can bring the big toes together and make sure you're pushing away through your head. So you're actually lengthening through the neck, trying to push the floor away. So you're not just dumping your weight on your head, you are holding your weight. If you make it here, you can work your abdominals, straightening the right leg, pushing through the right heel. Try and have your leg in line with the hip, and same with the left leg. Maybe you fancy doing both legs, give it a go. But otherwise, when you're ready to come out, we're going to go for a dismount, jumping into chaturanga. So the arms will not move. Looking at the bottom of your mat, we're just going to kick, come to chaturanga, inhaling upward facing dog, and then coming onto our mats. So if you want to give that a go, just pause the video. Otherwise, making your way to Shavasana. Final relaxation. So feet in the corner of your mat, flop to either side, palms facing the ceiling, hands away from the body, space in the armpits, space in the legs. Tuck your shoulder blades in towards each other as you lengthen through the back of the neck, tucking the chin in slightly. If you have any complaints in your lower back, if you place your feet mat width apart, With your knees resting against each other, this will just take any strain out of the lower back. And with the knees resting against each other, you don't actually have to hold the legs there. You can let go. But otherwise, lying flat on your backs, finding stillness once more. No need to move, no need to fidget. Still, no thoughts need thinking about. For now, there is nowhere else to be. Be here now. Be in your body. If an urge or desire arises inside to move, if there is a tickle or an itch that you would normally think needs scratching, do not move. Do not react. Do not give in to the desire. Do not give in to the urge. Explore what happens when you choose to not react to a tickle, an itch, or anything else that may stir inside of you. The way that you observe your breathing, the way that you can watch your breath, it requires no thinking, no involvement, just an observation. Treat in the same way all other experiences in your body. Whatever stirs, whatever arises. If you watch it for long enough, just like your breath, you notice that it will come and it will go. It doesn't need your involvement, it doesn't need your attention. Stay, remain in the state of the observer. When desires and urges arise in the body, it is common that we react. We do not watch, we do not consider, we do not choose how we move to what we're feeling. We react as we always have done. Take a moment, pause. Do you want to live in a reactive state? Do you want to be a slave to desire and passion? If not, take a moment, pause before you do anything. Make sure your next action is truly what you wish to do. Are you about to react as you always have done? How has that helped you in the past? Explore a new direction. Make a better choice. As always, most welcome to stay here in your Shavasana. Otherwise, when you're ready, deep breaths, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, rotating wrists and ankles, and then moving in any way your body wants. Most of your body has moved, has worked, has used strength in the muscles, but Maybe there's just a little area that wants a little bit more focus, a bit more movement, a bit more attention. Listen to your body. And then when you're ready, making your way to sitting on your mats as we bring our practice to a close. Pause a moment longer. Be aware of how you are feeling now. Be aware of how your breathing is now. So thank you all very much. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.